I know y'all ain't seen Uncle Floyd in a long time. Well, I'm still trying to recuperate from this total right hip replacement, and it's going to take a little while longer for this rooster to come around. But I decided to get on here to clear the air. Yes, I did. I decided to get on here to clear the air. But I want y'all to hold tight because there's some things that I'm about to say. So I want y'all to just hold tight and let me check my social media and see if we're up and running. Let's just see if we're up and running. Yeah, we up and running all right. Yes, we is. Yeah, we up and running. Uh-huh. Well, let's go right here and see if we're up and running. Okay, we're going to go right here and we're going to see if we still up and running. Because I haven't been on here for a minute, but I want y'all to hold tight. Okay? I really want y'all to hold on tight. And live. Let's see if we live right here. Come on. Let's put this back on here. All right. Oh, yeah. We live. We live right here on YouTube. We got one more. We got one more to go. And then we going to get down to the nitty gritty, ladies and gentlemen. We going to get down to the nitty and we going to get down to the gritty. Let's just see how we doing right here on Twitch. Oh, yeah, we live right here too. So we going to get back to, we're going to get back to, this here. And like I said, I want y'all to hold tight. All right? I want y'all to hold tight, and this song should say it. Because we're going to get down to the nitty gritty right after this. And this is a song from the 1970s. Well, what I'm about to say, ladies and gentlemen, they're going to blow your socks off. Because certain parts of history just don't lie. Majority of history do lie. Because it's being unfolded into our existence right now. My generation and every generation before me, we know that history. The definition of history is when one or more white folk, male or female, young or old, get together and agree upon a lie. That's the definition of the word history, is when white folks get together and agree upon a lie, whether they're young or old, male or female. So listen to this, y'all. All right, I'm telling y'all, y'all better hold tight. I'm going to blow your socks off. I'm going to blow your socks off. Hold tight, y'all. Hold tight. Don't let this moment fade away. Hold tight. All right. Now tears gonna stay. Buckle up. Everybody gets the chance someday. All at once at last you think you've got it made. Not a word that anyone can say can change the way you feel, 'cause you know that love is real. You can choose whether you fall in love. Anybody, any moment, anywhere. 'Cause no matter who you choose, there's a chance that you might lose. Gonna die, and that's the best that I can do. Hold tight. If you wanna make this feeling stay, hold tight. I know some of y'all know this song. I ain't the only one bobbing my head. Some of y'all clapping your hands. The other ones are just stomping their feet.
Now tears gonna stay. Hold tight. If you wanna make this feeling stay, hold tight. Hold tight. Don't let this moment fade away. Hold tight. Hold tight. Don't let this moment fade away. Hold tight. Hold tight.
Y'all.
Don't let this moment fade
Come on.
away.
Get ready.
Hold tight.
I love this song.
Don't let this moment fade away. Hold tight. Now tears gonna stay. You can do just anything you want. You can help yourself to anything that's mine. Take it easy when there's no one else. To get it right this time, gonna try to make love shine. Everybody.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's enough of that there. Hold tight, hold tight. That's all you got to do is hold tight. That's all you have to do is hold tight. Okay. I was just listening to Eric Dickerson, y'all. Hold on a minute. Now I'm back. Let me turn this down so y'all can hear me. I was just listening to Eric Dickerson. And it's always white folks get together and talk about conspiracy theories. Just like they used to use that old word growing up when I was a kid and before I was a kid called communist. Because that's all the damn, that's the definition of the word conspiracy theorist, or a person that always talking about conspiracy. They calling them a communist. Yep, today is Friday, August 22nd, 2025 at 7:10 p.m. Right about now is 78 degrees Fahrenheit, and boy, was it hotter than that today in Long Beach and surrounding cities. I won't call them out. Y'all know. If you're traveling here to the West Coast, bring some tank tops, wife beaters, your sandals, and you women bring y'all hot pants. You know what James Brown said about hot pants. Yeah. Okay. The topic today is this here. I'm going to let y'all hear from let me see if I can put okay, I don't have the shout out of Eric Dickerson saying that Eric Dickerson is saying, and I believe him, Eric Dickerson is saying that the NFL told the owners of every team not to draft Deion Sanders' son, Shakur Sanders, the quarterback. And we know that history don't lie, ladies and gentlemen, young and old. I'll give you a prime example. They say that sagging pants started in jail. Everyone from my generation and above and before my generation know that that's a lie. See, history, that part of history don't lie. It started on the plantation, sagging, because the slave masters didn't allow the black folks to have belts or a rope the tie around their waist with their pants to keep their pants up. And if you ever go back to watching some of them old black and white movies and they turned them into color, you see them bib overalls. Yeah, Levi's was around back then. You know, the farmer ones or the people that be on the train, you know, the conductors, they have those bib overalls on with the straps, the jeans, right? That's where slavery, sagging started at. So I want y'all to quit telling them damn lies about sagging. It started in jail or prison. They may go on there today, and then some of the definitions of the meaning of sagging is saying that, hey, come on, you know, I don't mind you going up in me, telling another man this and that. Yeah, that may be true, but I'm talking about where it originated from. History don't lie. If you go and check out the old black and white or the colored movies, like Gone with the Wind, and Roots, and all that kind of stuff, they didn't have no ropes and all that kind of stuff to hold their pants up. They may have had one strap on and the other strap off because them bib overalls was so hot in the field, the cotton and tobacco field, sugarcane field, whatever they was picking or harvesting, and they would let it hang down. Or they didn't have the bib overalls on, whatever slacks they had on, they was picking with one hand and holding their pants up with the other, but they were still sagging in the back because the slave master didn't want them escaping, didn't want them running. So trying to run with your pants falling down off your behind, you're going to get caught if you wasn't following Harriet Tubman. So that's just the introduction of what I'm about to say going with the NFL. All right. And there's a guy, got his podcast. He's a real sports reporter. Albert Beard. He's talking about the flamboyancy and all this and that with Shedeur, the quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, or he's on the Cleveland Brown team. He ain't the quarterback yet, but they ain't made up their mind. The league ain't told them that they can go ahead and say he's the starting quarterback. But I want y'all to listen to this here. And I believe what Eric Dickerson said. Then you got Dan Patrick show. Dan Patrick, you know, he's a good sports reporter dealing with boxing and other sports. And the NFL paying him, and he paying this guy to be on his show to contradict what what Eric Dickerson's saying and what a lot of us black folks, black Americans and Haitians and Jamaicans, Africans and Asians, you know, because they're black too. So let me let you listen to this here crap that they're talking about.
Eric Dickerson was on a radio show, Fred Rogan and Rodney Peete on AM 570, and had this to say about Shedeur Sanders.
Now, this is Dan Patrick.
I'll tell you this much here, what I heard from someone that's in the NFL, that the NFL told other, don't draft him. Do not draft him. We're gonna make an example out of him. And this came from a very good source. And he said that, I won't say who, somebody called the Cleveland Browns and said, don't do that. Draft
Really?
him. Yep, draft him. Don't do that. Because they weren't going to draft him either. They weren't going to draft him.
Your thoughts, Albert?
Yeah, I always think these sorts of conspiracies are a little overdone. I don't think there was any conspiracy here. I think it's relatively simple what happened. I think the great majority of NFL teams did not view him as a first-round prospect, contrary to what had been out there for the year previous. And then I think what happens is once you get past the first round, you look at the history over the years, not a lot of quarterbacks go in the second or third rounds. It's just the reality of it, like that most teams look at it like if there's a guy who's going to be our long-term answer at the position, we just take him in the first round. And if a guy's not going to be your long-term answer at the position, then you probably aren't going to take him in the second or third round because you're going to be looking for a long-term answer at another position with those picks. So the fate of Shedeur Sanders, like, I think he fell out of the first round for football reasons. I think he kept falling for everything else, right? Like for the fact that most coaches look at their backup quarterbacks and say, I want you to blend in with the furniture. I don't want to notice that you're even here. You know, that's the way, for better or worse, most teams approach the quarterback position, which I think to some degree short-circuited the careers of guys like Tim Tebow and Colin Kaepernick. So I like Shedeur's case was complicated going into the draft, but I don't think it was that complicated where there was some sort of weird conspiracy to keep him out of the league.
Yeah, from what I was told by a source, he didn't interview well. He kind of came in and he was interviewing teams instead of the other way around.
Right.
And you're right, he didn't have first-round talent. There was nothing exceptional about him except for maybe his toughness and his pedigree. But I can't imagine all of these owners getting together and somebody saying, hey, everybody, listen, don't draft Shedeur Sanders. Do I think the Browns... Yeah,
especially when there's somebody with the bullhorn that Dion has on the other side of it. You know what I mean? That seems like ridiculous that seems like the wrong tree to bark up, doesn't it, Dan?
Yeah, it does.
All right. Now check this out, y'all. Did y'all hear that? That's a bunch of damn nonsense. That's a bunch of nonsense right there. See, they always going to come back and try to debunk what a black person going to say. And do white folks think that they're the only one that have colleagues, comrades, associates, friends in certain auxiliaries in life that they interact with? I believe everything came out of Eric Dickerson's mouth. But this is just a way to make him look back. What do Eric Dickerson have to gain or lose by saying what he said? He already in the Hall of Fame. He already getting his $25 or $35, $45,000 a month retirement check. You know, he ain't all in the media. He ain't all into running the streets and doing dope and drunk driving and stuff like that. So, going back to history, I recorded some names of some well-known black quarterbacks who have been blackballed. Their talent was good for the era that they played. And history has proven over and over again in sports that black folks was blackballed. I remember they said back in the 50s and the 60s and the 70s that a quarterback is a thinking man game. Black folks can't think. You know, they can't handle it, being a quarterback. But the white quarterback can. Let me just let you listen to a couple of names of black quarterbacks who was held out of the NFL. As a matter of fact, we'll go back to 1923. Fritz Pollard was the first black quarterback. And can you imagine how racist it was back then? Can you imagine how racist it was back in those days? And then you had from 1960 to 1970, you have Marlon Briscoe. He played with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Man, quarterback. You hear me? Quarterback. Then you had James Shaq Harris. I gotta let people hear them clap. Yeah. Then you had Sandy Stevens. Yes, indeed. Give it up to Sandy Stevens. Eldrick Dickey. Yeah. Black quarterback. Joe Gillum, 1970. Black quarterback. Yes. I mean, and those are just a few black quarterbacks. Then you got Doug Williams. You see what they did to him. They wanted him to throw that Super Bowl, but he won that Super Bowl with the Redskins. Steve McNair, Warren Moon. Hell, he was so good, right? They wouldn't even allow him to come play in the NFL. He went to the Canadian CFL football league. Got him a little bag over there for a little while. Willie Thorpe. Yes. I'm just naming 28 of black quarterback. Michael Vick. Cordell Stewart. That's another Pittsburgh Steeler right there. And then you got George Telefori. You got Rodney Peete from USC. Another, and here we go again with Joe Gillum Jr. Travis Jackson. Marlon Briscoe again. Dante Culpepper. Ain't that something? Seneca Wallace. He played with the Seattle Seahawks. Jamarcus Russell, Las Vegas Raiders. Jeff Blake, Cincinnati Bengals. Aaron Brooks, New Orleans Saints. Jason Campbell, Washington Commanders. Charles Patch, Pittsburgh Steelers. Anthony Wright. Anthony Wright, Baltimore Ravens. Spurgon Wynn, BC Lions. Josh Johnson, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Quincy Carter, Dallas Cowboys. Cleo Lemon, Eldrick Dickey. Sean King, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Jay Walker. Marcus Vick. Yes, indeed. Troy Woodbury. Don McPherson. Now, that's just a few of black quarterbacks in the NFL. And even when they won a Super Bowl, Doug Williams, they didn't send him to Disneyland or Disney World, did they? So that's what I wanted y'all to do. I wanted y'all to hold tight and listen to history. And so the Sanders, both of them, because they're trying to drag the other one through the mud too. The linebacker or defensive end or whatever he play. But all they got to do is hold tight. Because the viewing audience in America, around the world, they're going to let their light shine. And they always hold us back from a sport, hell, that we created, just like hockey, the Stanley Cup. That was created by black folks way up there in Canada. Yeah, way up there, Winnipeg or wherever it is up there. Like they did Satchel Paige and so many others in the baseball. You remember? The guy that was of Indian descent, black descent, Thorpe. Remember? The dude Thorpe, man, they always speak of him. A lot of different sports. But I just wanted to let y'all know, ladies and gentlemen, don't believe everything you hear. The book of Proverbs, chapter 14, verse 15 says that only a simpleton believes everything that they hear. A simpleton. And the definition of the word simpleton is to be gullible, ignorant, to be foolish, to be a damn fool. That's what the definition of the word simpleton. And a lot of y'all is Christians. A lot of y'all may not be Christians and y'all believe in that Bible. But I'm just telling you what it says out of one of the books. I gave you the book of Proverbs. I gave you the chapter 14. I gave you the verse, making it easy for you to find, where it says, only a simpleton believe everything that they hear. Remember growing up, our mama and grandmothers and the old folks used to say, be careful. Don't believe everything that you hear come out of somebody's mouth. Because that could be life or that could be death. And then also in chapter 15, it says, a prudent man. I'm talking about a prudent man, male or female. Okay? Woman as well as man, male, wants proof. I just gave you proof, ladies and gentlemen. And that's just a few of black quarterbacks who has been dragged through the mud. And the mud just wasn't on a wet, rainy day on a dirt grass field. It was dragged with blood, sweat, and tears through the dirt to make it moist. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you liked this here Gift of Gab with Uncle Floyd, and I am your Uncle Floyd, and it's been a while. I'm still recuperating. Yes, indeed. So I want you guys to do your history and see how they're trying to drag this young man and his daddy through the mud. And this ain't the first time, it won't be the last time. They did it with the Williams sisters when their daddies was taking them to some of those tournaments in their early days. They did it to Tiger Woods, even though he say he ain't one of us. He's still a great one, but he say he ain't one of us. But there's gonna come a time. There's gonna come a time when this 2025 agenda is in full effect. They're gonna show his ass that he ain't one of them. Yeah, they gonna let Tiger Woods' ass know. That's right. They're gonna tell that story that his wife beat his ass with a golf club, knowing damn well that was the Florida State Troopers that beat his ass because he thought he was Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods? Remember in Shaft, the Puerto Rican guy say Tiger Woods. Yeah, it just gets me when some of our people denounce who they are, trying to fit in. I don't care where you're at, what auxiliary in life. When white folks invite you to sit at their table, you're a damn guest. You're a guest. And when you get out of line, thinking that you can say what they say about white folks, they'll make an example out of you. First thing they'll do is say that, accuse you of some kind of sexual crime. That's what they did back in slavery time. Just looking at a white woman, you bump into one by accident, right? They'll kill you. Emmett Till. That's a little kid that supposed to have bumped into a lady or whoever it was on an elevator or something. So many other black men going way back before my time and during my time and after my time is over with, then accused of rape, sexual assault, and knowing very well, even the justice system, know it ain't true, but they condemn regardless. So ain't no such thing as innocent from proven guilty in a court of law. Don't believe that. Just remember that Fifth Amendment. Shut your damn mouth. Don't say hi to law enforcement. And don't forget, when you have a lifetime DA, district attorney, I don't care where they at, they are corrupt. Because if you can be cold-blooded for 20 years or more, and you're that ambitious to be called the head district attorney, we all know that that office is corrupt. I don't care what city, what state, what country. You're a public I mean, you're a district attorney, you're corrupt. I don't give a darn if you're white. And you don't have to be white. You can be black or Asian, whatever it is. But when the rubber meet the road, they're gonna throw your ass under the bus. This is the Gift of Gab show with Uncle Floyd, and I'm Uncle Floyd. Yep. We at the half-hour mark, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna sign on off, and I'll be back every now and then and again. Yes, I will. Hope you enjoyed. I look forward to your feedback. Yep, Fritz Pollard, 1923, the first black quarterback. And think about the pain and the suffering he went through with the racism. And every quarterback after him, that came after him, all the way up to where we're at right now. And they can't forget about Colin Kaepernick. Yeah, he drug his ass, still dragging his ass through the mud. Yeah, he is too. So ain't nothing new under the sun, ladies and gentlemen.